I was just checking out some YouTube channels. Finding this was a mistake. Why did he have to skin her?
Because this total lack of respect that really bothers me.
So much blood. It's speaking to me. What did you do, Sam? 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 What did you do, Sam?
Lately, I've been scrolling through Reddit and came across a post by the user JackStauber88. He claims to have found a new ARG, calling it pretty bizarre, and the ARG clearly hiding something. I opened the link and began researching. The results weren't something I was expecting, but way worse than I have imagined. For now, I'll let my future self lead you through it, and we'll see each other again once the conclusion is reached. The conclusion of Mortal Dirt. Taking a quick glance over the channel, It's About Me has Mortal Dirt written over and over, but coated with wingdings, an emoji cipher as I call it. Same goes for the channel's background, but the writing is spat on. From then on out, it was all a dark, very dark rabbit hole. So let's get to searching and figure out the truth behind Mortal Dirt.
First video, my favorite book.
Starting it off strong will be the only video that goes over 4 minutes, while also being the first of the 7 on the channel as of current. It starts off with quick frames that I'll cover at the end of the video, as it's time to read his favorite book that he seems to be whipping. Not too sure about that, but the second the so-called book is open, there doesn't seem to be anything there. Just as I started to think that this video was all an empty book, a cartoonish depiction shows a beaver cutting off a rabbit's head with a knife, as he slides his finger across the empty book as if he was leading us through lines of writing. It cuts to text asking us, "Will you answer the phone?" More empty reading ensues as another drawn animation pops up. The character seems to be saying, "Some remember, some forget, and one day I will be forgotten as well." As the repetitive finger sliding slowly has me going insane, a random black texture pops up from nowhere, which up until now I still don't know the meaning behind it. Going forward, Morse code makes its way to our screen, which translates to "everything is a reference to everything else." The sentence doesn't hold much meaning to me when it comes to the story, as it's the same if I were to say, "It is what it is." We're then switched off from Morse code to a closely followed message encoded with wingdings, the emoji cipher, and translating it gives us, "Is this the f***ing content you want, you damn bastard?" A bit mean, but right on the spot. Absolutely love this type of content. Once the wingdings are off the screen, Mortal Dirt really seems to like this part of the book. Now, for a whopping 5 minutes, not much happens besides the same old reading of empty lines. And when reaching the end of the painfully empty book, text starts showing itself, which I'll assume is Mortal Dirt talking to us. He starts saying, "Oh yeah, what a good show. May our star take a bow?" The camera flips as we're met with an eye staring at us from behind a paper mask. Complete silence as our souls are stared at. Alongside with my pantaloons soiled, Mortal Dirt continues. And now, for something a little different. A clay animation starts playing, which represents a clay man in an experiment lab. He gets restrained down and gets his skin pierced, also possibly injected with something. The injection has his skin holding up as the person who injected the clay man removes what I'll assume to be the heart, which turns the clay man into a monster that ends up destroying everything in its path. We return to the desk, where Mortal Dirt seems satisfied with the animation, describing it as good, inspiring, and I'm not doing that. When raising the compass, you can also spot some wingdings on the left index finger, which read, "Hello, you here." We're kindly asked to excuse him as he checks his watch. And I think we all know that that isn't a watch, but we can't seem to take a long look since a black rose covers the screen. Now, for a solid minute, he repeatedly checks his watch, as the question of, "Is this entertaining enough for you?" is brought up alongside with a "yes?" to confirm our answer, as the universe fucking explodes right after. Anyways, signing in back to the watch checking, a good is said as if our answer was yes, like he was talking to himself. But before closing the curtains, we can't go without one more show called Down. The show seems to be larvae randomly laying around on what I thought to be a mask, you know, the eye holes, but then I don't know how down is written into the surface, so honestly no clue. Finn ends the show right before we cut to the profile icon of Mortal Dirt. Now, the only things I didn't cover in the video was the first few frames, which show a drawn beaver standing in a dark room, some frames of what we already saw, and a clayman standing in rain next to what I'll assume is a grave. And to not forget the description, which is encoded with a Caesar cipher. The translation is pretty long, so to summarize it, it's a review of the video talking about the great production, flow, audio design and such, even rating it a 5-star piece of work. If you want the entire review, enjoy reading all of that. Personally, I'd give it 5 stars as well, but mostly because I don't want to wake up with death threats or a knife at my throat. So, from what I've gathered, is that the person behind the book and behind the paper mask is the same. Also giving me thoughts that the person has mental issues, like reading an empty book, checking the watch over and over again, hiding behind a paper mask. There's many other things, such as the clay animation, coded messages, but that will all come in later. We also had some mentions of a beaver and bunny. Well, luckily for us, the next video, Sam and Sue, offers exactly those two. So say your prayers as we head in.
Second video. Sam and Sue.
The video itself is mostly animated, with the start talking about a gift from heavens that landed on Earth. An angel that controlled whatever the red vessel may be. The angel gave gifts, but the greatest one was the ability to bring back the dead. It tells everyone to spread word of the angel and the miracles everyone witnessed. We then switch to a title card for Sam and Sue. Sam enters first, looking like a carbon copy of Mr. Chipper, alongside the bunny Sue coming to say hello as she waves. Alongside these two, we'll be learning about words. Which words, you may ask? The word love. As an example, we're shown a baby bird fed by his mommy bird. Another great example of love is a meaty pyramid staring down 2 white beans apparently. And don't get confused, I'm not talking about this meaty pyramid. I mean the literally meaty one. Next, we'll be learning about the word sadness, where we take a look at a group of happy worms and one lonely, not so happy worm. And suddenly, everything seems to change. The video takes a dark turn as Sam goes on a rant about society ostracizing others, leaving each other alone. The lack of respect bothers Sam. I'll also have to blur out this next part, but like in the previous video, in a cartoonish depiction, Sam skins Sue. As suddenly, in the next frame, Sue is asking Sam, what has he done? As they both stand next to a head, with the X'd out eyes indicating death. Out of nowhere, Sam explodes, revealing his nerve system, and we also get a frame of the devil. As complete chaos ensues, some weird sounds can be heard from Sam and Sue as the rant about disrespect continues.
It's like I can't take this disrespect from people anymore. Be disrespected by my family and my boss. It's like, who am I supposed to...
We then see the duo back at it again, but not too long after, Sam is completely stained in blood. The video ends with a box full of those beans from earlier, as a clay head of Sam fades in, finishing it off with the profile picture outro like before. Now, this video was way shorter, but there were moments that gave me a bit of a shiver. Now, angels normally don't grant gifts, I would prefer to say they give blessings. A gift to revive the dead is not something an angel would do, but the devil might. All in order to corrupt any soul. The devil might trick you with gifts to follow him and spread his word. A thing I can't have a clue about as of now is the pyramid dude and the beans. No connections whatsoever. I also can't think of what the red vessel that the pretending angel controls is. But the main part we're shown is a dark side of Sam and Sue. This is the second time we see Sam killing Sue, also the addition of another person who I have no clue about. Sam does talk about society and people being too disrespectful. Goes on to talk about his boss and things that do happen in real life, meaning Sam isn't just a cartoon character. But we'll have to keep on going down this rabbit hole, or in this case, beaver hole, since the rabbit is dead.
Third video. Baby's doctor visit.
We've learned about books, love, sadness, and so much more, but not medicine. On the third video, we'll be seeing the baby's visit to the doctor. The baby doesn't feel well, so our lovely doctor gives it some medicine. But the baby's infected, so to help it out, the doctor needs to cut it open first. Doing exactly that with a piece of metal, a fly comes out of the baby and the baby's insides start falling out. After fixing the baby, yet another fly appears. We're left in complete silence, as out of nowhere, a quiet voice talks about seeing the face of God.
I once saw the face of God. A vast and sudden silence among the noisy heavens. That evening I dreamed I listened to one side of a conversation I should not have overheard. I do not watch the skies anymore. I do not look up.
A small amount of extra medicine is given to the baby, as its head seems to start hurting. So, like anyone would, the same piece of metal is used on the back of the baby's head to cut it open, as the compass from the first video is revealed to be inside the baby's head. Taking it out, the doctor kindly gives the baby more medicine to stop the headache as he lets it rest. Rested up, the baby is now overdosed. The pain is gone, and as the cherry on top, the baby now has 2 adult-sized hands. Ew, what the fuck? Why can it move? The video ends with a short bit of the previous video's angel, but the head now replaced with an image of Sam's clay head. This video also gives us a similar situation when compared to the clay animation from the first video. Something is injected into someone, which ends up turning them into a monster. And the final connection here was Sam's head over the pretending angel, which will either confirm or deny my theory later on. So let's see when my theory will be decided.
Fourth video. The Pink Room.
The following video isn't a video of itself, some may say, but it's more like a choice game. You wake up in a pink room with a door, a picture of the meaty pyramid, and 2 choices: to open the door or to search the room. But just letting you know in advance that there isn't an ending to this choice game. The left one goes by you opening the door. Then you can only touch the orb without having the option to open the bag. When you touch the orb, you're in front of a house with a weird creature that can give you a way home or knowledge. If you pick a way home, you can't continue and the encoded description reads, "You just want to go back home." What you fail to realize, however, is just how far you are from home. And if you go with knowledge, you're given a hard drive that you can't do anything with. This time the description translates to, "Are you sure knowledge is what you want? Why not stay in your ignorance? Why not stay in your dreamlike trance? Why do you want to wake up and see the abominations before you? You do not want the truth. You have no idea how happy he was to give it to you." So okay, let's try the different path in the first section. Let's search the room where you're met with an ancient being. There is no way of you going forward by saying hello. You can either deck it in the schnoz or you don't continue. So giving it a nice 1-2, the creature teleports you to a barren planet, where you can pray to God or pray to the devil. You'll survive. When praying to God, you're sent to a cold place, where it ends with you about to suffocate. And from then on, you can't go towards or away from the light. The description also tells us who we're playing as. It reads, "You don't truly believe you deserve mercy, do you? You've done horrible, horrible things, Sam." Now the only option left is praying to the devil, who destroys the being, and in return, Sam must serve him for all eternity, not having the choice of denying or accepting the deal. I do believe that even if all options aren't presented to us, it's meant to be like that. From the decoded messages, we can learn that Sam did something horrible. Whatever he did, he can't return home. It's not possible. He also can't pray to God, seeing as the things he did were so bad he doesn't deserve mercy. The devil is the only one who helps Sam, but now Sam has to eternally serve under the devil. In one of the options, where you receive a hard drive with knowledge, the decoded message asks Sam if he's sure he wants the knowledge. If he really wants to face reality, to know the truth. It also talks about someone being happy giving it to him. Not much of a clue what could be meant there as of now, but one thing I'm very certain of is that every single point of view we've been through, all the disturbing videos are made by Sam. The person in the first video hiding behind a mask is Sam, and every single animation, every message, it all connects back to Sam. I can't completely explain what every single depiction is of with certainty until I've went through it all. So let's not keep the 5th video waiting.
5th video. The Wastelands.
The video we're about to see is another animation. It shows a wasteland of the beans in a machine-focused world. One of the beans is very unhealthy, as he and his mother go visit the doctor again. I think that's a doctor? A machine examines the bean and he's given worm medicine. Fucking gross. We visit a space where beans seem to be working on something like a job, but one of them suddenly collapses, vomiting as the meaty pyramid takes him away, cuts him up and throws him into the wasteland. The animation is cut back to the empty book from the first video. Oh yeah, one more thing. The disturbing image alongside Sam's clay head leaves us with a message that when decoded says, "You are all fools." Now this is another illustration of Sam's situation, showing his perspective of how the world looks, what reality actually is, calling us fools for not seeing it like he does. Our world turned into a robotic wasteland where instead of actual care, we're just given pills to solve our problems. Like Sam, something was wrong with him and all he was given were pills, or worms in this case. The second scene here I believe shows Sam at work, but he's still unwell, which his boss, aka the meaty pyramid, spots. So he cuts him off. He lets Sam go and fires him, and now Sam is without a job, without a way to support himself only because of this cruel reality. The description is yet another review of the animation. A horrible review that only compliments it, talking how perfect it is, how it should leave you smiling and to not miss on the chance of watching it. Overall, a horrible reality Sam lives in. With that, I feel bad for Sam, but until I know why the devil is involved and why Sue is dead, I won't stop going down. And we're closing in on the truth as we head to the video that stands one away right before the end.
6th video. The Angel.
An angel summoning starts us off as we head to the heavenly gates. The angel gives us a gift, an armadillo. Look at him go. This angel dude seems pretty chill. What the fuck? The video states Sam wants more stuff, and as the angel is crying for help, telling us he gave everything he had, all that's left of the video is confirmation that Sam has killed an angel, as the cold dead eyes from behind a piece of paper stare us down all the way until the very end. This time the description isn't encoded. It criticizes the channel Mortal Dirt for its lacking quality and interest. Taking a deeper look at this, we've seen an angel many times, assumed to be the devil pretending as the angel. I don't believe that to be the case anymore. This is probably the same angel we saw in the Sam and Sue animation, but here he actually seems like an angel. Whatever the case may be, he gets murdered by Sam. Even after crying out that he's given everything he has, Sam wants more. He kills him, and I think that's where the devil starts getting involved. There's times where the angel is replaced by Sam's clay mask, or shown as the devil, which I believe is the case only after Sam killed him. But everything up until now has been shown differently, by animation or code. I don't think Sam killed an actual angel, but a good person who was like an angel in Sam's mind. If we take a few steps back to the Sam and Sue video, at the end Sam and Sue are both standing by someone's dead head. Sue even asks Sam what has he done, as he explodes and the devil reveals himself. Now, the Wasteland also shows Sam in a different format, but it also shows a lady, his mother, who has orangish hair just like the atmosphere in the animation. Similar to the coloring of the blonde-haired head in Sam and Sue, the head has bright hair like the bright colors of the scene. Now maybe this isn't on point, but Sam also does mention some remember, some forget, which could be a sign to Sam not remembering his own mother. But what he does remember is his mother's dead corpse. Sam murdered his mom. We approach the full story as now we have murder, mental illness, the devil, and God knows what in the final video.
7th video. The House.
Going into the very last video up until this point, we meet a baby slime who waves at us but is killed. Then a mutated slime is found who meets the same fate, as finally a monster shows itself, but the multi-tool does its job finally. We're then met with an ancient being, and even it isn't enough for the multi-tool. The following shot is filled with wingdings, with the result being a review of the channel Mortal Dirt, a so-called waste of potential, poorly executed narrative, bad pacing, and overall the work of an amateur. The final words of the translation come out to be, reviewed by Sam. As we continue forward, God comes around for a split second, but not long after, we're somewhere completely else. Coming across a home, we break in, spotting multiple humans. The view shifted towards the same multi-tool used on the clay earlier, but it's talking to us. It asks us why we left it lying on the ground. A reply in wingdings come from Sam with, "They're people. I shouldn't." Just a side note, when Sam does talk in wingdings, a hand is twitching in the background. The multi-tool seems persistent about something, how they're no different from the rest. Sam asks if they're really fake like all the others. The multi-tool keeps persisting, stating the only hard choice is what part of the multi-tool we'd like to use. And the last few seconds of the final video gives chilling music as the scene shows a road, a blood-stained window, and a multi-tool. And with that, we've reached the end of the videos. The last one for sure sealed up the deal with everything we had, and besides the obvious murders, let's see what else we can theorize about. At first, Sam just seemed like a person with a mental illness, going through an empty book, having weird moments of ill thought. Something was wrong with Sam. Be it a mental disability he was born with or one he gained through an accident, it changed his life majorly. But when they tried helping him, it made it worse. That's what's shown in Baby's doctor visit and the clay animation. He saw the world as it actually is, a corrupted world where you're judged for things not even you can control. When going to the doctor, he received pills, which were disgusting worms in his sight. He either didn't take them or they didn't help, but his health worsened, as he couldn't provide for himself anymore. These health issues were spotted out by his boss, who let him go, which was the same as cutting Sam up and throwing him away like garbage. He expresses his feelings in the second video, Sam and Sue. He talks about how people have no respect, how they single out people, leaving that one person alone and sad. Everyone cared for themselves. They judged but never helped. That was Sam's entire life, purely because of something he couldn't affect. So he snapped. Still living with his mom and younger sister, one day his mom brought him a present. The armadillo plushie. She was the only person who cared for him. An angel. But Sam was too deep in grief. This one present gave him a slight bit of happiness, and it was a feeling he wasn't familiar with. He wanted more. He demanded more. And when the mother didn't give, Sam took. He started stabbing, slashing away at her. She cried for help, but no one was there besides Sam's baby sister, Sue. Sue walked into the room, spotting her dead mother's corpse opened up and Sam standing right next to it, with blood all over him. In shock, she asked Sam what has he done. He started thinking to himself about how he couldn't let her live. All he'll do is release his family of the cruel reality. Yeah, he's doing a good thing. He's just helping them out. He kept repeating that to himself to ignore the screaming coming from his sister as he slashed away at her too, just like he did with his mother. This is all shown in the last video, The House, where at the very start, we're met with a baby slime. Is that little wave any familiar to you? We're also shown that 3 more creatures are killed, a mutated slime, a monster, and an ancient deity, which could be a representation of the family. The baby slime being Sue, the mutated slime being the mother, and I'm not too certain of who the monster and ancient deity could be, but I imagine they're both the father. A monster shows what Sam thinks of his father. Maybe he was beaten as a child, maybe his father caused his issues. And the deity is the current father, the man of the house and the only one who tried fighting back, grabbing Sam by the neck and trying to choke him out. Starting to suffocate in his father's hands, Sam tries praying, but he can't pray to God. He just brutally killed his mother, an angel in his eyes alongside his own sister. But a voice whispered to Sam, offering to help him out. The voice of Satan reached down, and in the moment of being desperate, Sam only wanted to live, so he accepted the help. And the price for that so-called help was his soul. The devil manifested into his life, helped Sam get back in control, but now the realization popped back in. While getting choked, Sam's arm with the blade in hand suddenly flung into the father's neck, killing his entire family with the help of one tool, a multi-tool. The devil manifested himself into this multi-tool, which is shown in the Pink Cre video, where the ancient being gets killed by the devil. That so-called ancient deity is too killed in the last video with a multi-tool. With what Sam has done, he can't go back anymore. In one of the options where you try to seek a way home, you can't. The decoded message lets us know that Sam fails to realize how far away from home he is. He leaves his home and finds another house. A neighbor possibly, due to him saying,
They really need to think about their neighbor more, I guess.
So him thinking of his neighbors, he visits their house, breaks in and finds people sleeping. But all isn't lost yet. Sam isn't sure if he wants to kill them. Maybe they're just innocent. But the devil talks to him again, convincing them that they're all just like the rest of them. Fake. That the hardest decision is what part of the multi-tool he should use to release these people. And Sam makes his decision clear. Where is Sam now? Did he end his life? I'm not too sure. The video ends with just confirmation of what Sam did, but no other videos were released after. No updates, no other social media, nothing. The only thought that may pop up for me is that when talking to the multi-tool, Sam's text is backed up by an arm twitching in the background. The ending could possibly indicate that Sam ended up taking his own life instead of the neighbors, or that he killed them and himself later. That's something I just can't be certain of. And that was Mortal Dirt with my take on it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any theories of your own, share them in the comments down below. But to not waste any more of your time, I hope you have a great, and I mean great, rest of your day.